The Denver Nuggets get a win in Utah, a bounce back win after being embarrassed in Denver by the New York Knicks, who got trounced by the Dallas Mavericks tonight. The NBA is a funny place. The Nets beat the Suns. You got the teams all across the NBA. Cleveland gets beat by Atlanta, a 2020 game for Trae Young. I'm saying all this to say this. You can never know who the real teams are until you get to around the 20 plus game mark. We're going to be up there pretty soon. There are a lot of teams in the NBA still trying to figure out who they are. And so for a lot of Nuggets fans, you're watching this team oscillate between great, beating the Thunder, beating Dallas, healthy, and then on the other end, you're watching them get trounced by the New York Knicks and struggle versus the Raptors and Nets early on. But this is the NBA season. It's long. There are a lot of ups and downs, but the good news is tonight, the Denver Nuggets, they were able to find some things that I think is going to help them in the near future. Y'all know what time it is. The Denver Nuggets win 122 to 103 in a very, very, very good game by the Denver Nuggets. They start the game off really slow today, y'all. It was not a good start at all. Not a good start at all. But they were able to respond. That's the biggest thing. Tonight, the Denver Nuggets, they ended up trailing in the first quarter 34 to 35. But in the first quarter today, Jokić had 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists on 8 of 10 from the field, 1 of 1 from the three-point line, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. And he didn't see a free throw the rest of the game. Just not that kind of game. The aggressiveness and stuff wasn't there. Jokić ends up scoring 11 points over the next 3 quarters, collects 5 more rebounds, collects 5 more assists. That's kind of gives you a tenor for what the game was like. The game was like close at times. The Jazz had a lead at times, but then really the Nuggets, once they kind of put their foot down, everything kind of started going their way. Russell Westbrook started the game off really well. He had a couple bad defensive possessions, like slagging off Isaiah Collier, rather, for a three-pointer. But Russ started the game off with a steal, led to CB getting some free throws, getting fouled in transition. The start of the second quarter, Julian Strawther had back-to-back three-pointers. This is another DNP for Dario Saric. I believe this might be the 7th DNP over the course of this season, if not more, for Dario Saric. Again, he's your 6th highest paid player, and he's getting DNP for DeAndre Jordan. Zeke Naji is your 5th highest paid player. He's getting DNPs basically until the end of the game in garbage time for DeAndre Jordan. They're going to have to figure out that backup 5 spot, and maybe that's just because Aaron Gordon is top, but even Aaron Gordon is here in the regular season. They need somebody to take those minutes, but it might be DeAndre Jordan for the time being. Jamal Murray starts his game off 0 of 5, but I'm going to get to him in a minute because he actually ended up having a really good game. But overall, Russ was dominant. If you go back and watch the Russ Jokić minutes, Russ was literally making crazy passes to Joker. Russ drove hard in transition, got a Joker dunk. That was an amazing play, all started and created by Russell Westbrook. Russ then got one of the best passes you'll see on an entry pass to Joker, where Russ was on the right wing. The defender, I think it might have been Walker Kessler, was fronting Joker. And so Joker was trying to post up to get the ball over the top. But Russ, instead of throwing it over the top, threw a bullet pass. So literally, the defender is like got a window. If this is Jokić, here's the defender. Russ throws the ball right face side towards the rim for one of the best passes that I've seen all year. Just a great, great game to start out for Russell Westbrook. The Nuggets, they are able to win the second quarter pretty handsomely. They played really good defense in that second quarter. They were running in transition. They went on a 13-5 run at one point in time. Michael Porter Jr. got a steal in that quarter. Christian Brown was being aggressive. And then once you get to the third quarter, the Nuggets, they just absolutely put the clamps on. The Nuggets led after the third quarter, 100-76. They gave up 35 points, y'all. They gave up 35 points in the first quarter. 35. From the time they got to the end of the third quarter, they gave up 41 points. In the second quarter, and in the third quarter. 41 points in the second quarter and in the third quarter. Again, that's just a part of like the way this team is operated. I don't love it. When they won the championship, I brought this up on Twitter. They were the number one first quarter team in the NBA. But then for some reason now they're waiting until the third quarter to really turn up the engine and to start dominating. Some of that's personnel. A lot of that is, I think, Jamal Murray's overall play. But this is what I want to say too, because a lot of people are worried about the defense, and I think the defense has been an issue. Don't get me wrong. But what I do want to say is I think that similar to December 2022, I don't know if y'all remember this. Remember, they lost to Dallas, they lost to the Atlanta Hawks, and then they lost one more game. They lost 3 straight games in December of 2022. And at that time, they had KCP and Bruce Brown was there. The Nuggets had the 28th ranked defense in the NBA. They close out December basically with a 28th ranked defense in the league. And everybody was kind of jumping off ship. They're not a contender. They're not going to win a championship. They're struggling. They look like frauds. You know, Swipa, you said when they got KCP and Bruce Brown, they're going to be a different team, all that, yada, yada, yada. I get it. But then they ended up going on actually a 40-game span where they were like the number 6 defense in the NBA. And then also very similarly, last year, they started off, they were the 4th seed, and then they ended up going on like a 21-6 run to close out the year. And their defense was top 8 over the course of the year. So if you just kind of look at the way the Nuggets have played over the course of the last few regular seasons, they will play very bad defensive basketball for periods. But then eventually they lock in, and then their defense goes from mid, which has been this season, which is around 15th or 14th. It's probably going to go up a little bit today, to elite. But that's all because of effort. That's just the way they are. Their defense is completely predicated on them preventing you from getting to the rim and them contesting three-pointers. And when they don't do that, it's a very bad defense. But they did that after the first quarter today. They did that in the second half versus the Mavericks. They did that they tried to do it at least versus the Knicks, but then the lead was too far gone at that point. They will do that. That's just how they respond. But Christian Brown tonight, 41 minutes played, a lot of minutes, 18.7 rebounds and 3 assists. He was 6 of 8 from the field and 2 of 3 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Love to see that part. And he had a block. He was a plus 18 in the game. Love to see him play that way. Again, being aggressive in transition, flying to the basket, trying to finish over Walker Kessler, and then hitting open three-pointers. Christian Brown has worked himself into being a legitimate player that's going to make about $20-something million a year. That's how good he's playing right now. Michael Porter Jr. started the game all slow. He had 4 points at halftime. Michael Porter Jr. ends the game 31 minutes with 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists for Michael Passer Playmaker Jr. 8 of 15 from the field. He was 2 of 6 from 3, so 6 of 9 from 2. Love to see it. 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Had a steal. He was also a plus 17. And Michael Porter Jr. was a part of the wave. A part of the wave in the second half that ended up leading to the Denver Nuggets being able to take the lead in this game. Michael Porter is just a functionally different player. He responds to adversity and he responds to contact much differently than he did at previous points in his career. It has made him a functionally better player. Michael Porter Jr. has also turned out to be a much better ISO defender than previously noted in recent years. And I think some of that is just because he's getting older, stronger, and he's healthier as the years go on. We talked about this years ago. The further Michael Porter gets away from his back surgery, the healthier he gets. That's just the way it works. So the athleticism is going to be there. The strength is going to be there. So Porter is 26 now. As he continues to get older, that's just going to be the story for Porter, hopefully, as he's able to have a very long and successful career. And again, Porter, man, he just really makes like a massive difference for the Nuggets when they're trying to either get on a run or to contain runs overall. And I just love the way that he's able to be so intentional with his movement now, because he's just such a much more confident player than who he used to be. And Porter, man, was really excellent inside that third quarter, especially helped to change the tide of the game. Made 2 3-pointers in that game. Made his buckets inside of the paint in that corner and stuff as well. Just a really, really, really great game from Porter in the second half. And then Peyton Watson, only 9 points, but he was 3 of 6 from the field. He was actually 0 of 3 from 3 today. 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 1 block, 1 steal. He was a plus 20 in this game. Really good defensive game from him. Second quarter on, switched him out onto Colin Sexton and ended up struggling the rest of it. Colin had 26 points, 4 assists, and 9 of 16. He was a minus 13. And Keontae George, 23 points on 9 of 23 shots, 5 of 12 from 3. He was a minus 19, but still good games for both of those guards. Colin's going to be a really good player on somebody's team one day. I think Keontae George is going to be the best player in that roster at some point. I don't know when, but I love Keontae George's game. I really did. I really love the way that he plays. Nikola Jokić, 34 minutes, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, ho-hum, 13 and 19 from the field, ho-hum, 2 of 3 from 3, ho-hum, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Don't love it. 1 block, 1 steal, plus 20, dominant game in his sleep. He wasn't required. He wasn't required to step out of his bag today. And you could tell he just wasn't required to, I think, go out of his way to try to dominate this game. And it made all of the difference for the team. I think some of this is just like, as everybody knows, Joker is just kind of able to tell what is needed from him and when he's supposed to get there. And today, you could just tell, like, the Nuggets just didn't need him to, like, go be Joker great. But for me, it's like Joker's reached this point where a floor, like a B minus game from him. Like, I would say his last game was an F, like a 22-7-7 performance versus the Knicks. This is like a B minus game, C plus game, 30, 10 and 7. The defense, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, it wasn't like he was really like going at it and trying and contesting at the rim. Again, you could just see the game flow. There was just no real threat. Like the Jazz were no real threat over the course of this game, so he just didn't feel like he had to go out of his way, obviously. But overall, again, man, he's just reached this place where, like, everything he does is just like a very, very smooth, very deliberate. He's making sure that he's taking care of his end. He's cutting off ball. He's doing a lot of things. Joker 30 again. Look at this. 73.8% true shooting tonight. 11 to 16 from 2. I mean, he's just the best in the world. There's no other way to talk about it. Just a great game from Joker. And then Jamal Murray, y'all. The reason I waited for Jamal Murray, because I actually want to highlight his game today. Jamal Murray, and we're already 12 minutes into the show. He ends the game with 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists. And he was a plus 18 tonight, had 4 steals, 10 of 18 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, but he was 9 of 12 from 2, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. But here's the great thing about it, y'all. Jamal Murray started the game off 0 of 5. 0 of 5. Jamal Murray finishes the game 10 of 13 shooting. Look, Jamal Murray last year, I put on Twitter, he was averaging 25, 3, and 8 on 49 from the field and 45 from 3 splits versus this Jazz team. And Jamal Murray, if he continues to find his confidence, this is going to be. Again, last game versus the Knicks, he also looked good. Again, they didn't win his minutes. His defense is still figuring it out. But offensively, he's ticking up. He's ticking up. And let me check this, by the way. I just want to make sure that I'm, let me see, reading this right. Jamal Murray, let me see. I want to say his efficiency has been going up the last several games as well. And you could tell, like, some of this, I think today, what it felt like is Keontae George was going off, and Jamal, like, there's a point where Keontae hit a shot in his face, and it felt like Jamal took it personal. And so then he started responding, and he just looked like he just turned something on, like, in his brain. that he needs to be more aggressive and he needs to attack. And so let me see this little sample size for Jamal. Okay. So last 5 games, 18 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds for Jamal. He's shooting 41% from the field, but 36% from 3 on 7 attempts. And the free throw line is only 65, but that's because he's been trolling 2 of 3, 2 of 2, 2 of 6, 7 and 9 versus the New York Knicks. And this game today is not included in this last 5. So we'll see. But I think he's trending up. He feels like he's getting some of his legs and some of his lift back. And I love to see that from Jamal. I think he actually has a lot that he's really kind of turning up on and things that he's adding to the team. And so, but again, the hope is that he does what he did 2 years ago and he does what he did last year, where Jamal Murray went from being not great to the first 25 games. He sucked, like Joker said. And then for the rest of the year after that, he was amazing. 57 games left in the year, he was amazing. The last 40 games of that year, he averaged like 23 and 7, and he was shooting like basically 40, almost 50, 42, 90. And I think a lot of this is people are looking at this now, but Jamal has these stretches in the season where he's like goes under the radar because of how efficient he is. And then all of a sudden it's like, man, how did Jamal Murray pick this up, blah, blah, blah. And I think, again, hopefully that's the goal. I think the Nuggets defense is for sure going to get a lead at some point. Jamal Murray shot making, I think that's what everybody kind of wait and see what happens. But again, I'm really glad by what I saw tonight. The important thing is that he's figuring out some of his rhythm, and you can tell he's getting better and better. Russell Westbrook off the bench, 19 minutes, 10 points, 5 assists, 1 rebound, +6. Had really, really good stretches of play today in the first half. In the second half, not so much. There's a part of it is it's not all his fault, but some of this is the responsibility levied on him as well, but he has to be better with his decision making sometimes. So in the start of the fourth quarter, just in the fourth quarter, Russ had 2 missed layups, 3 missed 3-pointers, and 2 of them were bad shots. 1 bad lob pass turnover to DJ, and 1 live ball turnover in transition. So again, some of this is just knowing that you're going to get certain things with Russ, but also being able to mitigate some of that. But again, overall, he's played really well lately. So it's not even like a real criticism. This is just more so versus better teams. How do you just minimize some of these things that are defects and then maximize all the other great parts about his game with the rest of the roster? Hunter Tyson played 16 minutes today, 5 points and 4 rebounds. He was a -5. Julian Strawther, 9 points. He was 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from 3 +2. DeAndre Jordan, 3 rebounds today, and then that was your 9-man rotation for most of the game. And then you get PJ Hall, Zeke Naji, Jones, Trey Alexander. Trey Alexander played, and Dario Saric did not play today. The Nuggets only shot 33 threes. They shot 11 to 33, 33%, 55% from the field, 46 of 84, 83% from the line on 19 of 23 attempts, 30 assists and 10 turnovers. Love to see that 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. 31 rebounds and 10 offensive rebounds. They got dominated on the boards, 47 rebounds and 21 offensive rebounds. 8 blocks for the Nuggets and 10 steals, 18 stocks in this game. Excellent. Just 14 personal fouls. The Denver Nuggets, they get yet another win. They moved to 10-7 on the line where they were last year. Very much in line where they were the year before that. So again, take a breath, take a step back. The Nuggets are just getting better little by little every single game, and eventually they're going to turn into the team I believe that everybody thinks can win a championship. Swipa Gang, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Y'all know what time it is, Swipa Gang. See y'all on the other side.